What's up, everybody? Brennan Edwards, your tech specialist from the Curse of Akakor. I'm actually coming to you from Peru today, and yes, I'm filming it on my cell phone because I'm on vacation. I want to give you guys my takeaways for this episode 5 of the Curse of Akakor. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about is, obviously we're at this waterfall now. Obviously, Megan is incredible, but before we get into how incredible Megan is, let's just take a moment to appreciate that all the drone shots, every single one that you see at this waterfall is me. And they use the crap out of it in the show. Makes me feel good. It makes me feel like I did a good job. And I hope you guys appreciate it as well, because those drone shots look good. All right, so next up, got to give a shout out to Bobby and Paul. Guess what you guys are doing? Oh wait, we know what you're doing. You're chilling in the office again on the boat, looking at papers, trying to figure out what you want to do. Immediately after shouting out Paul and Bobby about still being in the office, they go out in the field. So I'm proud of them. They did it. Like, they were outside. I mean, they're still obviously in a city or a town. So now they're in Rio Branco. It's a smaller city. So I guess they're getting like steps closer to the jungle. So I give them props. Y'all getting like taking your time to get there, but I'm proud of you guys. You guys are doing better. You made it outside. Good job. See? Police homie. They don't stop you. Like in LA, that would have been it. We would have been done. Would have been over. It would have stopped. But she just rolled by like, no, we're good. So if we just take a second and look at like around 5:19 in episode 5, you'll notice that Moose and Megan are just so comfortable like talking. If you watch my face, you'll notice I'm like looking down at my feet. I'm looking around because where we were shooting right there was like precariously close to the edge of death, aka the 1,000-foot drop off that was right next to that waterfall. And I wasn't about that life. So you can see it on my face. Like, I didn't want anything to do with it. I just want to point that out. It was terrifying, and I don't know why they were cool with it. All right, so the waterfall shots. Now, I only can speak to the waterfall shots as a drone pilot because that's what I am. Moose mentioned that the drone or the weather would constantly be moving and like the wind would change, and it would. It changed a lot. It made my life very difficult. I actually ended up bringing 4 drones with me there because they pretty much dropped me off on like next to the waterfall and the plateau. So let's say if this is like like where I'm at, then it's like around a corner, and then here's where Megan and Moose were when they were dropping down to get into the waterfall. It was probably the best place for me to drone from because it was slightly higher than where they were, but I was pretty much by myself, which is pretty funny because like everybody went over there and like, okay, Brennan, just handle the drone stuff. And I had like a walkie-talkie, but that was like pretty much it. Either way, I brought 4 drones. I had the Mavic 2 Pro, I had the Mavic 2 Zoom, I have a Mavic Air, and I had a Matrice 210. And I used every single one of them, and I burned through all the batteries just to make sure y'all could see what we was looking at. And honestly, I think we did a great job. Like, Megan went over there, she saw what she needed to see, and I got all the shots of it. The drone-wise, I got like really creative, like looking down the waterfall. It makes you feel dizzy even just looking at it. So I was really happy with that. It was really cool to actually use these different drones in this different setting, like with all this different wind and the different weather that would change constantly because the wind was like a vortex inside of where the waterfall was. So out of nowhere, the wind would just blow really hard, things would change. Things became really difficult, but overall, did a good job. It was good, and the drones handled their business, except for the Mavic Air. The Mavic Air did not like the wind. I also want to give mad props to Megan for going over the waterfall. Like, I remember that it was actually a super brief conversation about like, who's gonna do this? Who's gonna go over the waterfall? And you guys know what I did. I was just like, yeah, that's a great question. Who is gonna do this? It ain't me. And I'm just really proud of her. She went over that waterfall, absolutely terrifying. I don't think they could have convinced me to do it. Like, it just wasn't gonna happen. But I just want to give a shout out to Megan Hines. She's the Bear Grylls safety expert, also just a survival expert in general. One of my good friends now, and honestly, just a complete badass. She's amazing. And then we also have to give mad props to the cameraman who also went over the waterfall. Because obviously, if you look at some of the shots, they're from right next to her. Jovan Sales, I gave him a shout out in episode 1 for being the homie who was there looking out for me when I fell in the river in episode 1. Thanks, Jovan. The dude's crazy though. Like, he went over the waterfall and got the shots with Megan as well. So he's just as brave. Mad props to him. Like, that was not easy. Nothing about that was easy. Like, this dude is A1 cam op, and I give him all credit. And watching him do that, like, for after that, I was like, nothing but respect. But hilariously, the next day, he got stung in the face by a bee, as you can see in this picture right here with me and him. He got stung in the face by a bee, and it was great. But it was not great in the sense of it was great how he handled it. He thought it was funny. He took pictures with everybody, and that's just the kind of guy he is. So mad props to you, Jovan. You're the truth. And so that concludes my thoughts and my takeaways for episode 5. Obviously, a lot is going to be happening coming up in episode 6, 7. Where am I going to be filming from? What are we going to be talking about? Who knows? But you should stay tuned because it gets real.